This time in Street MBA, I have a person who inspired me in such a short duration. Normally if I talk of police, most of us are okay, it's better to be away, why get into proximity to somebody from the police. And here I met a person who was so inspiring. He set up a team just to call up everybody who visits his police station to figure out how was the service. Have you heard this before? Does the police call to ask you, how did we serve you when you went to the Thana or when did you come to us? Have you heard this before? Have you heard this fact that there's an officer who is so obsessed about bringing down the number of deaths in the road that he himself leads initiative, like seeing that if citizens are wearing helmets, to see that, talking to companies like us, that can we give discounts on insurance premium. Have you seen this obsession? I could not resist, but I thought of bringing him to you to understand from him, how does he do this? How does he bring his life to this position? How does he, as a police commissioner of Pune, reach out to people at that level to make them comfortable, to make them safe, and like his logo is that destroy evil, do good. So over to you, Mr. Venkatesham, the police commissioner from Pune. Sir, it's so inspiring, sir. If I look at your history, the way everywhere you have focused on social work, on trying to integrate the society, in trying to reach out to them, how do you think all this? Like, I've not seen a police person do that. Normally all of us are scared of going to a police officer or meeting him. So how do you do this?
Those who violate, definitely they have to be scared of police. But other than that, society at large is good and well behaved. So Maharashtra police motto is Sadrakshanaaya Kal Nigranaya. So we want to protect the good and destroy the evil. Protect the good means we have to serve more number of people. So there are large number of people who come to us for various services, help, redressal of their small grievances. So that can we do in a better format. So we keep learning from private industry where you feel customer satisfaction, customer delight, customer experience. So I say, why can't citizen experience that fantastic facility? Because we exist because of people's taxes. They pay tax and they want best service. Why not? And if we can do, we will do it. So that's how Seva came into being, which you were referring to. Under service excellence and victim assistance, whoever visits to the police station, he is being spoken to after a day or two, asking him whatever services he wanted, whether he got, whether he needs more help. Unlike private companies, we are not just talking to a sample of 100 people or 1000 people or 2000. Till yesterday, we have spoken to 2 lakh people. So it's going on. So all these 2 lakhs, their voice logging is done and their record is available to us. So here, there are 3-4 types of people, internally and externally. Internally, our staff speaks and senior officers also speak personally, including myself, DCP and about up to CP. Every week we speak about 50 to 60 number of people, so that we know ground level what are the expectations of people, what types of problems are coming. This is what we are doing. And externally, there is a company called Instavan which does call and check about, and second is NSS students are calling, and third we have given data to study on this to ISB Hyderabad. So they are doing study on this Seva.
Unbelievable. Do you see the transparency? In the businesses that we are in, how many of us can put our hand to the heart and say we call up customers to figure out what can be done better? The police commissioner does that. I myself went to that site to see and hear the recordings. It was all there. And as per me, the NPS score is around 65%. How many corporates in India can say they have an NPS score of 65%? Unbelievable. The lesson to be learned here is, if you want to make a difference in the job you are in, you can and you should reach out to your customers, take feedback, and even if you're the police department, make changes to ensure that they feel comfortable, they feel happy, and they get the delivery that has been promised to them. Sir, I've also seen from you that you work like a mission. I've never seen you do job as a job. Irrespective of what time I reach out to you, you're always available, right on WhatsApp to all the means that a person can be. How do you do that, sir? How do you see your work, and what's your message here for?
So we consider police as a mission actually to help people, because it is very rarely in a job you get to do so much service for people. There are many Police station is the only office in the country which is never locked. It's open 365 days, 24 hours in a day. So when people are coming in untoward timings and circumstances, we need to do more and more. So that's how we think it is a missionary, and we feel satisfied when the other person gets his redressal.
So many of us at times we are talking about that this is work-life balance and I'm looking for this and this is the number of hours we should look for, reduce the number of hours. Did you ever think the police department works 365 days, is never locked? Did you ever think like this? Did you ever think that the head of the department himself is accessible to people at all points of time? What is the learning here? When you look at your job like a mission, when you're obsessed about making a difference in society, when you're obsessed about having a purpose in your life which would benefit millions of people, for you, a job is not a job, it's a mission. Such an important learning that we have. So the
Can
next,
I add something
please sir,
to this?
all yours.
Work-life balance becomes, they join at one point the moment you define work correctly. When work becomes mission, work becomes meaningful, the balance comes automatically.
And that takes me to the next question, sir.
Yeah.
I have seen you so many times. I always seen you smiling and calm. And I know, sir, the police job is very stressful. You're always handling negativities. You're always handling a crisis. You're always handling such kind of criticism when something goes wrong. How are you able to be so self-centered and so calm, irrespective of all that is happening, and make such a huge difference? So what's the secret that you have here, sir?
Police works for rule of law. The moment we are clear that we are to work for rule of law, and all our power comes from Constitution of India. So if these are my compass, then my direction is very clear. If this is not my compass, then I have a problem. So one has to keep compass clear, then everything falls in place. I think that is the thing which makes us work 24 hours.
The clarity of thought of what has to be delivered, the clarity of what's your purpose, if that's clear to you, then what he says is you don't feel stressed out at all. But sir, somebody would be motivating you to pick all these kind of thought processes, to be the way you are, sir. Who has such a strong influence in your life, sir, over time?
I have three people in my life who influenced me, and during student time I used to say the same thing, but I now practice those values. One is Mahatma Gandhi. He lived whatever he said, he walked the talk. Absolutely, if we see Chora Chora incident, the independence may have come earlier, but the moment it went, it was violent and it was not following principle of Ahimsa, he said we are suspending that. So whatever we say, we have to follow that. If we say something and if we follow something different, it's a problem. Second is Swami Vivekananda. He emphasized service and sacrifice for the sake of country. So if those ideals from student days have in my mind, that service means service to the utmost. That is the way we do. Third is Abdul Kalam. The way he inspired youth to do for the country is fantastic. So these are the three ideals which I keep at work level.
If we sum this up, for your principles, if you have to step back, don't compromise them. Service and sacrifice for the good of country and fellow countrymen, be there. Mr. Kalam, the inspiration himself, inspired so many to think bold, to step out, to see and do things which nobody has thought about, transform the nation, the society and the people at large. These are his inspiration, and that's what makes him what he is. Such a huge learning that we have. And finally, sir, before I sign off, you have done so much for women, for the senior citizen. I'd like you to speak about all that you have done, sir, so that at least we all aware about it.
We are taking some initiatives. Say, for example, crime control is the easier basic motto: prevention of crime and control of them, and keeping law and order. While we are doing, when I said in Seva we speak to the people and we listen to them, there are many things which come up. These are the new requirements. For example, there are more and more nuclear families now. There is nobody in the family to tell what is right and what is wrong, where you have to adjust and compromise and give space to the other person. So that wisdom we are missing at home. So that we are seeing people coming to us with 3 days of marriage to 30 years of marriage, having marital problems. So we have initiated one thing called Bharosa, where it is like an integrated multi-agency center like nursing home. So there is a doctor on call, shelter arrangement, social worker, psychologist, lawyer, counselor, and police officer specially sensitized for that purpose. So we see more rush in that office than any other police unit as on today, and it has become model in the entire state, and it is going to be replaced now. So their number of problems are solved in a different manner by counseling. That's what they are doing. And senior citizens is a bigger problem in Pune that we are addressing here. And there are more than 1562 children who instead of going to school are committing crime. So those we are helping through NGOs in different places. They have 7-step module. So we are undergoing through the 7-step module, and later on skilling and whether they can be employed productively. So that these people instead of committing crime are dissuaded from the crime and doing productive. These are the additional things which we are doing to the other than prevention and control of crime. With regard to crime, what we are doing is whatever resources we have are precious and limited. How we can maximize? We can maximize only through two things. One is training, and second is through technology. So technology, we are using all sorts of platforms in increase the efficiency of existing resources, and second about training. So we have a COPS Excellence Center, Center of Police Service Excellence here in this office. So wherein if a person does small work, is he best in the world? That's what we are benchmarking and trying to upgrade ourselves on regular basis. If we have 9,000 people, at least 90 to 100 will be undergoing training on one subject or other, but it is not training for training sake, but training to create benchmark. That's how they are. We have been working on these 2 T's, training and technology, that has been helping us. Actually, with these initiatives, last year we got at least 5 awards nationally, 2 Scotch Awards, 2 FICCI Awards, and 1 e-governance award just 3 days back.
Unbelievable. When you listen to him, I challenge most of the corporates in our country. How many of them are thinking of business the way he has said? He said he wants his people to be best in the world. He's not even talking about a district or a country. He also said and mentioned very, very clearly that the initiative he took for the marital discord, did we think about it? And whom all did he put together, right from counselor to a doctor to a psychologist to police person who can manage that? And this is becoming a big issue in our country, and we will take it up later. But right now, he as a commissioner has thought of a solution. How do we take it forward? For the elderly citizen, for the society as a large, for his people, the way he runs it, I think I've yet to see real good corporates do what all he's doing. Such an inspiration he has been for me, and I'm sure you'll also be inspired by what all he has done and plans to do in times to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you.